Good morning. My name is Sharice McCray. I'm working on Modular 2, Discussion Question 2, Partnership with Family Students with Disability. I had the opportunity to examine two poems. One was Beirut and the other one was Holy Land, where two mothers was pregnant. They had different children. The Beirut had the autistic child. The Holy Land had a child with a disability. And there is a saying, when life throw you lemons, you make lemonade. But the first question asks, how would our partnership with families described in each poem? Well, first poem, the Beirut, I would go in the autistic spectrum as having support group for children with autistic behavior. I would go with in the Holy Land, I will go with support group for people with disabilities in general. And then I would have both of them to come together, because no matter what your disability is, you for the child, you're both suffering with children with disability. So I would partnership with these families by providing effective communication that is friendly and clear. And I would be honest with these families. I would be have an opening door policy where these families can come in. I would have be able provide a listening ear, because a lot of times people talk and you're not listening. They need somebody to listen and somebody to reflect and paraphrase of what they're saying, so they can. Because sometimes they talk and they want to know if you really understand what they're saying. So that's how our partnership with them families. I would be giving them, want to be an advocate for them, helping them, turn them in a direction of where they need to go to get the help for their children. Number two, what state and local and national resources would I provide for parents in the Holy Land poem? In the Holy Land poem, I would provide different Social Security, because one, they need to be able to get some type of refund, not refund, but some type of monetary monies, because there's some money out there for children with disability to help, because all the stuff that these children need, the parent can't afford it. So they need to go get Medicaid for this child. I would send them to like the different federal government, so that they can get different devices to help meet the needs of their children. And in the other poem, the Beirut poem, I would do the same thing. I would do national and local community that focus on children with disability, having community groups for them, having an open door policy for them as well. I would also let them know that there is resources, there is laws to help both groups to be able to meet the needs of their children. Like, for example, when they go into school, they need to know the laws that's going to help them as far as school is concerned, so that they can know how to meet the needs of their children. They need to understand that no matter what type of disability that your child have, your child can be included in all activities just like other peers. The other question was, so that's how I would meet the needs of my children, of my both of my groups. I would have autistic groups. I will have support groups for both families where they can come in and learn and talk with each other, because a lot of times parents don't know. They think they out there alone, but they got somebody else that's just like them, somebody else child that's just like them. And by them coming to support groups, this will help them to get to know that you're not alone. You got other people out there with the same your disability that your child have, and you need to just be able to come and get a variety of different information to help meet the needs of your child that has a disability. Also, I've I've been able to get to see two children in my community with autistic disorders. I work with people with autistic disorder and some people with disabilities, and not all people got the same disability. So I looked at chapter 3, and it was talking about the least restricted environment. Where your child, when your child go to school, what environment will your child be served in? And you do have a right as a parent of where your child be served at. You do have you could be have where your child be where they say the LER. You got to make sure that your child IEP is equipped to meet that child's need. You got to make sure if your child need modification and accommodation to make sure that the people are meeting the needs of your child. Also, I will have family support groups for both of those Holy Land and Beirut, because we also got families. Like, for example, I might have to leave my child with somebody. Is this parent gonna be able to meet the need of my child? Is my family gonna be know what to do for my child while I'm gone? So that family need to be included as well. And then we got the family have a voice for a child with disability. So both of these parents became pregnant, and they planned for a perfectly normal child, but they end up with a child that had disability. And it threw a curveball at them. They didn't know how to deal with it, so they had the look. Like the one parent in the Beirut was talking about how people was looking at them, how people. She said they didn't know how to deal with that. They want to just give up in life. Like, well, why is this happening to me? But you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to if you could get people more aware of your child disability, and people look at you like, God, what's wrong with her child? But if you have that voice and you speak up for your child, be an advocate for your child, and don't settle for less, because your child deserves the best. Also, I was looking at in the chapter 3, the Sunshine Framework, where they was talking about trust in family, professionalship, partnership, where they was talking about being an advocate, people that was volunteering and participating, having extended learning, even looking at individual lives, and they was talking about referring and evaluating. Sometimes children need to be referred and evaluated to make sure that they're getting the services that they need. Make sure that you're meeting the child's basic needs. So I was looking at that little wheel, the sunshine wheel, how you can make it rain for your child, how you be the voice for your child. Because if you don't speak up for your child, nobody else will. And another thing I learned, don't judge a book by its cover. And also, if you ain't never walked a mile in that person's shoes that's suffering or that's dealing with a situation, don't judge them until you walk a mile in their shoes. Thank you.